Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 13 of the evil mother-in-law. If you're seeing it for the first time, you need to go start from part 1. It's very important that you do so. But just get ready because your emotions are gonna get all over the place. So let's continue.
Part 13 of the Mother Gothel series. We are jumping right into reading some of the texts that were sent back and forth. This is where you start to hear her exact words. If you haven't watched 12, go watch 12 because we're picking up right where we left off. She texted me and said, "We all don't have the perfect life my son gave you. Some of us have to fight to live. Let those be my last words to you. I hope you and my son are happy with yourselves." So I said, "Let me make something very clear. Colton didn't give me a perfect life. We built it together. He works long hours. He busts his ass for his family, but I hold it down at home. I'm the one getting the kids to school, picking them up every day. I take them to games, to activities. I volunteer constantly at the school and with the PTO. I manage our home and our family and both of our dogs. That's not privilege. That's partnership. You don't get to minimize what I do just to justify your issues that you brought on with your actions. Your bitterness isn't the truth, and your guilt trips don't land here anymore. Deflection, manipulation, and dumping guilt on other people are your patterns, and it doesn't work anymore." After all that, she simply responded, "I'm not dealing with you anymore. I want my bedroom set and my stuff." The bedroom set that we bought. And that would have been the end of it, except she can't leave anything alone. About a week later, she started texting again about random things. Her stuff in the garage, her EBT card, doctor's appointments, little things that always seem to turn back into arguments.
But why is she not testing her son? Why is she testing the woman? That's what I would never understand with these women. Why are you not testing your son?
At one point, she made a comment about telling my grandchildren things. And I told her something she definitely didn't like. Everly is not a baby anymore. She lives in this house. She saw everything that happened. I don't lie to my children and I don't embellish, but I'm also not going to pretend that nothing happened. When Everly wants to talk about it, we talk about it. Then she asked again if she could take Sierra, which made absolutely no sense. They were selling the house they were living in and had no idea where they were going next. There was no stability. The answer was no. She kept saying nothing she ever did was good enough for me, and I told her the truth, that she actually hadn't done anything. And then she said, "If that's the way you want it, I won't text any of you ever again. Are you happy now?" I told her, "Your guilt trips don't work on me. I have nothing to feel guilty about." If she wanted change, she needed to reflect and get professional help. I actually have suggested several times that she seeks therapy, because she never followed through on the therapist that I set her up with. Then she suddenly changed direction again. She said she never tried to turn Colton against me. She claimed she was simply having a conversation with her son about what was wrong with me, and that I was the one who attacked her on the deck. So I responded, "Oh, don't lie, because I'll post and send the ring footage to everybody I fucking know and everybody you know." I don't think she knew that I had that. So suddenly the conversation changed again. Now it was, "I have a right to talk to the child I gave birth to." I told her the problem wasn't talking to her son. The problem was her manipulation, and that we could see right through it. The arguing kept going. I told her no matter what she had done to me, I had never told her she couldn't see my kids. A lot of people cut off their toxic in-laws completely, and I haven't done that. But she never took accountability. She would say sorry and then immediately follow it with why nothing was actually her fault. And that's why we could never move forward. Another pattern I started noticing was how illness came up whenever accountability did. She often talked constantly about seizures and how often they happened, but during the months she lived in my house, she didn't have them. Yet she told other people she was having them multiple times per week. For the 4 months she lived with me, she had one. It's a miracle. At some point before the end of July, she switched tactics again. Instead of texting me, she texted Colton, because that's another pattern with her. When she argues with one of us, then she goes to the other, trying to control the narrative, trying to reset the story. After she started texting Colton, she sent him a message saying she wanted to apologize. She said, "I just want to apologize to you and your wife. Apparently, I've hurt everyone." And Colton responded immediately. He said, "Calling Kaylin your wife after 14 years together is interesting. And saying apparently I've hurt everyone is not taking accountability." Then she sends messages that deflect responsibility, tries to make everyone else feel guilty, and then adds, "I'm sorry" at the end, hoping everything just gets swept under the rug. And that turns into a huge fight between the two of them. She kept blaming me. She said she is entitled to have a conversation with her own son. She told him I attacked her on the deck, and Colton shut that down right away. He said no, what happened was she stood there, attacking his wife for 15 minutes, and then got upset when she was confronted. He told her she could give it out, but she couldn't take it. Then the conversation shifted to social media. At first, she said she deleted us off Facebook, and then she said she didn't do that, which she did. Colton pointed out that I never deleted her at all. She was the one who blocked everyone, including the kids, which means she cut access off to talking to my kids because they communicated through Kids Messenger. Her response was the same pattern. Fine, I'll take the rap. And then she blamed the cameras. She said something like, Kaylin is always walking around recording everything on her phone so nobody believes what she says. Colton told her the real reason she didn't like the cameras, because they showed she was lying. Those cameras have always been there for the safety of our family. And then she crossed a line. She brought my daughter into it. She said, you'll get it all back someday by the way she treats Everly. When Everly becomes a teenager, she'll retaliate against her. She retaliates already, which is an unbelievable thing to say. Teenagers have attitude, so I don't even know what she's talking about. First of all, you don't drag someone's child into an adult conflict. Everly had unfortunately already seen a lot of what happened in our home. She was allowed to have feelings about it. But attacking my parenting and bringing my daughter into the argument said a lot more about Penny than it did about us. I try not to talk too much about my daughter in the story. Some of what happened affected her, like when her feelings were hurt over the dog, and that's part of the timeline. But there are plenty of other things that involve her, and I'm not going to put it out there. She's a person, she deserves privacy. And like a tween, or really any child, she has emotions and opinions. And Penny doesn't like that. And bringing my daughter into an argument between adults or commenting on my parenting is completely out of line. Colton told her that too. He said Everly had been here through everything and was allowed to feel the way she felt. And right now she didn't want to speak to her grandmother after the way she had treated both her and her mother. And that's when she exploded. She said, I've never treated any of you bad a day in my life. The way you've treated me since that girl came into your life is ridiculous. And Colton told her to take accountability. He said that she hadn't been a good mother or grandmother lately. He was quite pissed at how she was treating us, and that if she kept texting him, he would block her, because she never respected boundaries. Her response was immediate, and it was ugly. She wrote, I haven't been a good mother or grandmother, you little son of a bitch? Fine. I'll pack up my stuff tonight, and then you never have to see me again, you ungrateful little shit. Then she started talking about her life insurance paperwork that she wanted back, probably change Max back to the beneficiary. And again, she said that she had done nothing wrong. At one point, she even told Colton not to call names, which was wild because he hadn't called her anything. She was the one throwing insults. He told her to grow up. And she finished the conversation the same way she always does. She told him, you look at that girl with rose-colored glasses. She's going to hurt you. I can guarantee that. And when she does, don't come running to mom. That was the end of the conversation. 14 years together, and she said she's going to hurt you. I can guarantee that. What I didn't know yet was that she had already been telling that exact story to someone else. Can you guess who she pulled in and tried her damnedest to turn against me and Colton? Because the next thing that happened had me seeing red real fast.
Do you know another major problem of that woman? She's jobless. She's idle. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. If she's engaged with any work, she won't have time to be doing all this rubbish. She won't have time to be doing all this rubbish. Ah, guys, and it's just so sad that somebody's mom is going to this length to disrupt his life and marriage and home. Guys, I'll see you in the next part.